Close brace. For JavaScript developers, by JavaScript developers. Alright, now that we understand how linting works, let's go over the rest of our app and find any more errors that need to be resolved. Opening every single file in our app in Sublime to look for linting errors would be an exercise in frustration. It'd also be a tremendous waste of time because ESLint can be run from the command line and told to look at any or all of the files in our app at the same time. To do this, we need to, hang on, I'm going to blow your mind, do some installing. I know it seems like every single step of the way here involves installing a bunch of stuff, but the reason for that is because I'm portioning this out into bite-sized pieces. If I were doing a normal app setup for myself, I'd install all of this stuff right at the start before writing a line of code and then be done with it. Actually, there are even generators you can use to automate a lot of this stuff when putting together a new app, although you often have to deal with other people's defaults and preferences, which can be mildly annoying. Anyway, for right now, let's get to it. We need to install ESLint and its various dependencies globally if we want to run them from the command line. So do that first. This is the same stuff we added in the last tutorial, we're just adding it globally this time. Now we're going to add a plugin to lint our jest tests, which will also allow us to preempt ESLint yelling at us because variables like describe and it in those tests are not defined in the same file. We start that process by typing the following and hitting enter. Yarn add --dev ESLint -plugin -jest. Then we add it globally too. Yarn global add ESLint -plugin -jest. Cool, now we can lint our entire app. But wait, you might be thinking, does this mean we're going to lint the literally tens of thousands of files in our node modules folder? Because that seems like an apocalyptically bad idea. It is, and we're not going to do that. ESLint is smart, and it automatically ignores node modules. We could also tell it to ignore other files by setting up a .eslint ignore file, but we'll get to that another time. To finish our installation, we need to tweak .eslint.rc. So switch to Sublime Text, open that file up. We need to make this jest aware, so add the following lines below the extends block, but above the rules block. Plugins, open array jest close array, env, open brace close brace, jest/globals true. Don't forget this comma. Make sure to save the file. This is telling ESLint to use the jest plugin and also to be aware of jest's various globals like describe and it so that it doesn't report them as undefined variables. Okay, now we want to set up a script to run our linter. Open package.json. And in the script section, add the following. Lint ESLint space dot. Make sure to add the comma at the end of the test line or your JSON will be broken and your scripts won't run. Save the file. Back to a terminal or command prompt. And let's try it out. Just type yarn lint. There we go. A whole list of files with linting errors. You might also notice the last line, which says we got an error with an exit code of 1. This is somewhat misleading. ESLint returned an exit code of 1 because it found errors, but it didn't actually cause any errors itself. In other words, you can safely ignore this line. In the event that you ran your script and no files had linting errors, ESLint would return 0, and this error would go away. Alright, there are 5 files. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which need some help. Think we can run through them real quick? Let's give it a shot. Switch back to Sublime. Open up models/user.js. Our linting errors should appear. We need to fix line 1 by adding a new line. This is to keep require blocks separate even if they're only a single line. We also need a trailing comma at the end of our object. Last name string, comma. Save that file, and we'll move on to /API/index.js. This one's easy. Just an empty line after the require. Save the file. /API/users.js has a few issues too, so open that up. Again, we need a new line after our require statement. Line 8's error is interesting. In Airbnb's opinion, functions should always return something. A JavaScript function with no return value automatically returns undefined, but undefined doesn't qualify as something. The way to fix this is by adding a return at the beginning of our 2 res lines. Return res.sendError, return res.jsonUsers. Then we fix our improperly spaced if statement, and all we have left to do is add a new line at the end of the file, which is common convention. Save that. Our last 2 files are easy. Open /API/users.test.js. We need to unpad these 2 blocks. Here and here. Save that file. And open routes/index.js. All we need here is a new line under the require statement. Save it, and that should be it. Make sure again that all those files are saved, then return to your terminal or command prompt, and type yarn lint again. There we go, 0 linting errors. Our code is lint free and ready for a night on the town. In the next tutorial, we're going to finally start talking React. See you there.